Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, college coaches. This is Coach Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics. We are a startup company based in Austin, Texas, and we're focused on helping student athletes successfully transition from high school to college and then either into their sport of choice professionally or into a career based on their major. We created the Spotlight podcast to give student athletes a voice during this pandemic recruiting cycle that we're in, to tell coaches who they are personally, who they are academically, more about their family. We like to tell coaches that our athletes are not just a huddle video and a transcript. There's much more to them. And we're going to hear from exciting Class 23 prospect here shortly. Before we get to our guest tonight, I want to shout out our sponsors. First, Go Edit Graphics, brand new graphics company based in Nebraska. They do a great job of creating graphics for high school and college athletic departments for any outbound communication, whether it's schedule, player spotlights, player showcases, messages to their fans, game schedules, game results. So if you're interested in putting some graphics to your outbound messaging, make sure you go look up Go Edit Graphics. Second sponsor would be Epic. They are a new gear sports apparel company based out of Houston, run by a good friend of mine, Stefan Johnson. Epic stands for Every Play I Compete. They've got some really hot apparel. They do high school uniforms. They do 7-on-7 uniforms. They do hats and caps and gloves. Anything you want. They do it in a very creative style. So look them up. They're on Twitter at I am Epic 24/7. And then lastly, my Buffalo Wild Wings partners, want to thank them. We all love wings. I appreciate their sponsorship because they're allowing us to have an impact on student athletes, not just here in the state of Texas, but across the country. So thank you to our sponsors. With that said, let's get to the man of the hour here. This young man, I've watched his video and talked to a lot of scouts about him. He's explosive. He's going to be a big time name in the class 23. Mikal Harrison Pilot, class 23. I call him an athlete because he can play quarterback, he can play receiver, he can play DB. He's at Temple High School here in Central Texas, 6 foot, 185 pounds. My favorite part, 4.9 GPA. Yeah, I'm gonna say it again, 4.9 GPA, National Honor Society, first team all district, first team all academic in baseball. He's a multi-sport athlete. Right now, coaches are trying to wipe up the spit coming out of their mouth right now because they're so excited. And then you can see Mikal's Twitter name there, Mikal Pilot on Twitter. Mikal, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Man, I'm doing great, and I'm excited to hear more about your story. I've watched your video. I've talked to some guys at 24/7 and Rivals about you. We're all excited about your recent offers, but I want to know more about you as a student athlete. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing that college coaches want to know about, as you know, is the academics. And you're rocking this 4.9. I think if I added up all my high school years, I might be able to do a 4.9. But tell us about the importance you put in your academics, Mikal.
I'll take a lot. I'm top 6% in my class, so I always take that around here, my house, or in our house. My dad, we don't do C's, so we do everything. Everything has to be A's or B's. So we always been like that since 5th grade. So it's been helping me ever since.
So it sounds like you've been a good student your whole life, your whole academic career. This is something that the light came on maybe in 8th grade. You've been a good student your whole time, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell us, what are some of your favorite classes that drive that GPA?
I go with geometry, so math. I've always been math.
You know,
or chemistry.
Okay. Which do you have an idea what you might want to major in when you get to college in a few years?
Business.
Okay. You want to be a finance guy? You want to run your own company? What are you thinking?
Entrepreneur.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. And do you have an idea what kind of business you might want to get into? Sports, business, software, technology? What are you thinking?
I think I do sports.
Okay. I like it. I have no doubt you'll be successful. There's not a student athlete out there, Mikal, that hasn't had some help along the way, whether it was from parents, a teacher, a coach, an AP, a principal, a counselor. Tell us somebody in your life who's had an impact on you academically.
I gotta go with my dad because he always drives me to be better in my grades and always checking up on it. So yeah, I gotta go with him.
Okay, kudos to that. Kudos to your dad for doing it the right way. And then the other thing college coaches want to know about is, what type of learning style do you have? Would you consider yourself more verbal, visual, or hands-on?
I think visual. Yeah, visual.
You
I
like to
like to
see
see
it,
it
right?
like more on the board. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Nothing wrong with that. Does your learning preference change from the classroom to the field, or do you like to learn visually in both environments?
I think it's both. Yeah, visually in both.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Tell us, and it sounds like you haven't struggled much with a 4.9 GPA, but when you do have a very tough class, probably an AP class, tell these coaches, what do you do to overcome a tough class? Do you work with a teacher? Do you get a tutor? What do you do to get better in a class you struggle in?
I always ask help with the teacher. So like anything I'm struggling, I always ask them. They always help me so I could do better.
Okay. You know, obviously, as I mentioned, Mikal, we're in this pandemic recruiting right now, and the NCAA's got a dead period, and college coaches can't come on campus yet, and they love watching athletes in the classroom. For coaches who have not had a chance to watch you in the classroom, tell them about your body language in class. Where are you sitting? Who are you engaging with? Are you interactive with the teacher? Tell us a little bit about your classroom presence.
Most of my classes I sit in the front mostly, and some is like in the midsection. But yeah, I always like to sit in the front so I can hear and learn everything better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't like sitting in the back because I can barely hear or I can barely focus because that's where like most everybody talks in the back. But that's why I'm always in the front. So
Mikal, I'm not trying to, promote you too much, but there's a lot of high school students that will watch this podcast. And I just want to review something before we move into you personally. Mikal is a 4.9 GPA. He sits in the front of the class. And for all you athletes out there that don't have a 4.9, some of you have a 2.9, some of you have 1.9. You're trying to get to where Mikal is at. Sit in the front of the classroom. Work with your parents or your teachers. Get A's and B's, not C's and D's. Understand how you like to learn. Get that homework done. The kid we're talking to right now, Mikal, is a great student and a great athlete, and you can't have that backwards. So, Mikal, seriously, shout out to you and your dad, man, for doing it the right way. Let's jump over to learning more about you personally. Tell us about your family. I know your dad helped us out technically here before we got started. Tell us about your mom and dad. Are you the oldest? Are you the baby? Tell us about the Pilot family.
in this house, I'm the oldest in this house. I have a brother. I have two brothers, one on the way, and on my mom's side, I have how many is that? One, two, three. Oh, yeah, I have three brothers and one sister. So in all, that's six siblings I have.
Okay.
So,
Big family. So you're the oldest, and you got a brother in the way. Tell me about the importance you're putting on being the best big brother you can be.
it's always being the best role model I can to them, and always showing them the way and how to get it done.
Okay, I like it. And tell us about your dad. You got good size. You're obviously a good athlete. Was your dad an athlete? Was your mom? Will you have any siblings that were also athletes? Coaches always like to hear about the athleticism in the family. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so they both were athletes. One played football, one played basketball.
Okay.
So yeah, I get it from them.
All right. There's not, as a former college coach myself, I look at your size right now, 6 foot 185, wondering, what do you think your height and weight will be by the time you graduate from high school?
I want to get height. I want to get 6'2", 6'3", hopefully, and
Okay.
at least 200 pounds.
Okay. And then every college coach would ask you the two follow-up questions. What size shoe do you wear?
13.
And then how tall is your mom and dad? Where are you gonna get the height from?
I get it from my dad's side.
Okay.
So yeah.
Good to know. Okay. We know how hard you work out in your academics. I know how hard you work individually in off season and during the season. When you do have some free time, what do you like to do when you've got some free time?
Play the game. Like during school, I never get to. So on the weekends, when I have time, I always play the game. That's like my thing right there.
Okay.
So.
All right. Nothing wrong with that. It's a big part. Social media is a huge part of recruiting, especially now with this pandemic cycle that we're in. For any college coach that has not visited your Twitter page yet, tell them about what kind of message you're putting out about you. What's your brand like? What do you want folks to know about you on your Twitter page?
It's either I post offers, I'll retweet everything that my friends post or my family posts. So that's really all that's there. Really, it's just positive things.
Good. Love you staying positive. That makes a lot of sense. Hey, obviously, want to know about you personally. Tell us a couple of personal questions here. What's your favorite all-time sports or football movie?
Remember the Titans.
Yeah,
I go
great.
with that one.
Yeah, one of my favorites too. What's your favorite food? When it's your choice to pick what we're having for dinner, what are you choosing? What are you having?
Chicken spaghetti.
Spaghetti. All right. Okay. And then if you had a chance to be a superhero, who would you be and why?
Hmm. I think I go with Superman
Okay.
because he has the super strength, the laser eyes, and he can fly. So I think I'll be that. So
Okay. Nothing wrong with
yeah.
that. Tell us, coaches want to know this, obviously, who's going to be involved in helping you make your decision on where you'll commit to?
My family. So
Okay. Good. Do you know if you will want to travel outside the state? Well, let me back up. Are you a Texas native?
yes, sir.
Okay. Are you okay with? Do you want to stay in state for college, or are you open to going outside the state?
I'm open to go outside the state. So I don't know yet, but I do either or.
Okay, that's good to know. Tell us a little bit about, there's not a high school player that doesn't love playing in front of a packed house like you do at Temple every Friday night. But tell us, what are you doing to give back to the Temple community? Are you involved in your church? Are you involved in nonprofits? Nonprofits. What do you do when you want to give back?
Community service hours. I always like to do that. So
Okay. And what kind of things you do in those community service hours?
it just depends what it is. It could be giving back, giving back food or helping paint anything or helping move out any of that. So
Okay, good stuff. Good to know you're giving back there. And then tell us, and this is my favorite question, Mikal, because as a former football player myself and two knee injuries and two hip replacements, football is going to come to an end one day. When it does, whether it's after college or a 10-year career, what do you want your life to look like after football's over?
either if I'm owning my business, either that or become a coach. So I can always stay close to the game.
What about personally? You want to be a dad one day? You married?
Oh yeah. Yes, I want to be married and dad have
Okay.
some kids. So yeah.
All right. I like it. Okay. Tell me, do you have a favorite quote that motivates you? And if you have one, what is it?
Uh, it was one about LeBron James. It was something about criticism. Like it's like he'll take he likes the criticism, so he I forgot the words of it, but it was something about criticism. Like
Using it to motivate them to become better?
yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I can definitely understand that. Tell me a little bit about, this is one of my other favorite questions. You've been playing sports for a long time. Actually, let me back up. How many sports you played? You're very athletic. Tell me, baseball, basketball, football, what all sports have you played since you started playing sports?
Since we started, well, in high school it was basketball, football, track, and baseball, but I let go of basketball, so it's just baseball, track, and football right
When did
now.
you start playing those sports? How young?
When I was like 5.
Okay. Tell me now, so I set that up. Tell me your all-time favorite sports memory of yourself. Maybe it was a touchdown when you were in Little League Pee Wee, or maybe it was a layup. What's your favorite all-time memory of yourself dealing with sports?
All time memory. Well, I think in middle school, winning 2 back-to-back district champions, I think that was the best memory I could ever have for football.
Okay. Mikal, when did you know that you were pretty good? When did you know, like, hey, I'm gonna have a chance to play this game in college? When did that moment hit you? What year was that?
I think in my 7th grade year. My 7th grade year. Yeah.
Kind of knew, like, hey, I got a chance, huh?
Yes, sir.
I hear you on that. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Tell me, do you have a nickname? Family nickname or friend's nickname?
Kel, it's like Kel. That's what most of my friends call me. My family, Kel.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. And then, you just had to finish a great season. Tell me a couple things from this past season that you're using to motivate yourself and get ready for next season. What are you working on this off season?
Mostly my footwork.
Okay.
That's the main thing I need to work on, my footwork.
At a receiver position or DB? Are you talking about getting off of a jam coverage as DB in your back pedal, or more coverage in the secondary? What are you thinking?
Both, and especially when I was QB. So I've been doing all of it: QB, wide receiver, and DB.
And so let's talk about that. I watched the video. It's very impressive. I see you line up at receiver, quarterback, defensive back. Do you have a preference, or will you play any of those athletic positions in college?
So I was leaning towards safety. Like as my freshman year, I wanted to do that, but now since I got moved to wide receiver, I'm more leaning on to that now. So I just love catching touchdowns and all that.
Okay.
That's why I want to play wide receiver.
Okay, good stuff. That's good to know. Let's talk a little bit about recruiting and just kind of you as a player. Let me ask you this. What makes you a great teammate? How would your teammates describe you as a teammate?
always having energy. I always like to pick up my teammates when they're down. So I always want to keep their head up and always make sure that we're going 110% at all times.
I like it. Okay, I like that a lot. What do you consider right now your strengths, and what are some of the things you're working on as a player?
My strengths. I want to say, what are my strengths? Well, I think it's just being able to catch a ball. Well, being a ball hawk and just being athletic. Really, that's really my strength. But my weaknesses, I think it's my footwork.
Yeah.
I just gotta work better on my footwork.
Okay. I'm gonna answer the question for myself after evaluating you. You are explosive after the catch. Every coach, and not say anybody can catch the ball, but there's a lot of people can catch the ball. But are you explosive? They call it yak, obviously, yards after the catch. In your video, once you get the ball, you're like, I'm not just trying to get 8, 15 yards. I'm trying to put it in the end zone. Tell us where that mentality comes from.
Just having that dog in you just to catch that ball and know that you're gonna score, knowing that no one can tackle you. That's the mentality I have when I catch the ball.
Okay, good stuff. Tell us, would your teammates describe you as a dependable athlete, a dependable teammate?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
What about your coaches?
Yes, sir. Always.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, as an example, if you tell the coaches, Coach, I'm gonna be in early tomorrow for film. I'll be there at 8:45. You will be there at 8:45. Are you that kind of guy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, because that's it's kind of become a foreseen conclusion for some people. Oh, I'll be there, but I'll be there when I get there. Coaches love guys that say, Coach, if I'm gonna be there at this time, you can trust. It's my word is my bond. I will be there. So that's good to hear. Mikal, I always talk about athletes. Evaluating them for many years. There are two types of athletes: those that love to play in the games of Friday night, and those that love to prepare throughout the week in practice to then shine on game night. Which one are you?
I think the second one is practice. So I can be ready for the game nights. So always practicing hard. Taking all reps I can. Always taking mental reps too when I'm not going.
Okay. I think I know the answer to my next question, but I'm gonna ask you anyway after talking with your dad before we got started. Are you a film guy? Do you like to study your opponent to give yourself more of an advantage each Friday night?
The times I can, yes, sir. But the times I can't, it's not really. But I always like to try to watch film on my next opponent.
Okay, good to know. Very good to know. Tell us, are you playing 7-on-7 right now? Who are you playing with? What are you doing in the offseason right now to stay competitive?
Yeah, so I'm playing 7-7 for Juice. It's a team in Austin.
Oh yeah, I know the Juice guys very well. Sean and Resford, all those guys do a great
Yes,
job.
sir.
Okay, that's good to know. You're right, from right here helping out. I like that. Mikal, how would you describe your mental toughness to a coach?
I'm always thinking positive, I'm never negative, nobody. I'll always be positive on the positive side, and that's really it.
Okay, so if so give these coaches an example. So let's say on one play you drop a ball, you drop a touchdown pass. Are you the guys like, oh my God, I dropped the pass? Or are you like, you know what, give me another shot, coach. I'm gonna make up for that right now.
Yes, sir. It's always about the next one. If you drop a ball, any of that, it's always about the next one.
Okay, good. Overcoming adversity is a big part of being a successful student athlete, Mikal. Tell us about a time in your life, either personally or athletically, where you had to overcome some type of adversity.
My freshman year when I was on varsity, it was a lot. It was like a lot of shade coming at me, so I had to overcome that, knowing that I earned that spot for a reason and have to prove it to them.
Yeah. So playing varsity as a freshman sounds appealing to everybody. Everybody wants to do it. But it's tough because you're at the bottom of the totem pole, but you're a freshman, you're trying to make plays, but you got to respect your upperclassmen. Talk to us about how important chemistry is to you from a team environment, from a locker room perspective.
You all gotta have a great team chemistry. Because if not, your team it won't be as good. Like it's always gonna be 100%. So y'all know how to play with each other, know what jobs to do, and just and trusting your teammates. So they have trust in you.
Okay. Mikal, tell us, what kind of player are you pregame? Are you the kid that's got the headphones on, you're jumping around the locker room, get everybody fired up? Or are you the kid in the corner, headphones on, locked into the game plan, thinking about what you're gonna do during the game? Which one are you?
It's the getting everybody hyped. Like
Okay.
I love the music. I always jump around the locker room with my teammates. So
okay, nothing wrong with that. That's good to know. That is really good to know. Tell us, because we finish up here, how do you define leadership and how do you plan on leading going into your junior year?
I define leader as always stepping up to the plate and like just being always speaking loud and
Well, let me
just
ask you
know
this way. Let me ask you this way. Everybody thinks a leader is the guy that jumps up and down when they get scoring a touchdown. I like to define leadership in the offseason. Tell us about what kind of leadership you're showing now as you guys get ready for next season.
So yeah, you have to be more. You have to communicate more, and knowing that you have to work hard, showing you that you have that leader spot, and always working hard and picking up your teammates, help them work hard so they know that you want to be that leader, and we want and have build that team chemistry.
Okay. Last question, and we'll finish up with that elevator pitch. How would you describe to these college coaches your competitive spirit?
My competitive spirit. I'm competitive in everything I do, so it's just always being accountable, being trustworthy, always being there on time, and loving to compete for the sport I love.
Okay, good. Hey, last question here. We'll get out to the elevator pitch. You know, you picked up a lot of offers here. You're starting to kind of get on the radar screen. Picked up a USC offer recently. You got 15 offers. Tell us about your recruiting experience so far. Who have you heard from? Who do you want to hear from? And what's been your experience so far?
It's been fun. Like I would never think it would come this early, but when it did, it's been up from now. Like it's just been a great experience.
Okay.
And
good.
hopefully I get way more. So, but the team I want to hear from, my favorite college team was Alabama.
Okay.
So,
all right, we'll get in front of those guys. I know some guys there. Hey, let's finish up with this. This is something very important. We call it the elevator pitch in business. It's when you have 15, 20 seconds in front of somebody who might invest in your company, hire you for a job, or in this case, recruit you. Look in the camera right now, Mikal, and tell these coaches why they should recruit you and what you're going to bring to their program.
I'm gonna be in a program. I can be a leader. I'm gonna be trustworthy. I'm gonna be accountable. And I always bring the energy, like bring the juice, and always give an effort, 100%, 110%. I always, and just knowing that they can depend on me for anything. I could do whatever is best for the team.
Okay. That's a great elevator pitch, man. Mikal, I'm excited for your future, man. I know there'll be a lot of coaches watching this video. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Let me know. Tell your dad thanks for getting this set up, and we really do appreciate your time tonight, man. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
All right.